Hi, I'm Jess. I work at Adnams and today I'm going to show you how to make a mashy pea cocktail. So you need to start off with getting around 3 tablespoons of thawed frozen peas. I'm using garden peas, but you could use petit pois or even fresh peas if you have them. So ideally you'd put these into a cocktail shaker and use a muddler, but I have misplaced my muddler, so I'm going to improvise, as I think we've all been doing a lot of recently, and use a bit of a hand blender and a potato masher. So I've got my about 3 tablespoons of thawed peas in there. I'm going to put in a good squeeze of lemon juice, that, and then around 10 mils of sugar syrup. Now this is actually all I had in the cupboard. I don't actually have any sugar at the moment, but if you don't have sugar syrup you could just use about a teaspoon of sugar, or I'm sure that maybe a teaspoon of honey would equally work just as well. Now I love this cocktail because I love a cocktail with a bit more of a savoury note to it, so for me this is perfect. So I've got my peas, sugar syrup and lemon juice, and I'm just going to give it initial quick blitz with this. Now, although the blender makes quite a good job of it, I find that the masher just helps release the final bits of flavour from the peas. So I'm just going to scrape that out into there. Just put that to the side. And then I'm going to put my pea mix into a bowl. Like that. And just to ensure that I've got all that flavour and all that colour out of the peas, I'm just going to give it a final mash with my trusty potato masher. There we go. Not the most elegant start to a cocktail, but I assure you it's an elegant finish for sure. So there we go. Just put that out of the way. So we just put that to the side for a moment. Now I've already filled my cocktail shaker with some ice, and then for this cocktail it uses vodka. I'm using our East Coast vodka, which is a lovely smooth and rich vodka, and it's got slight sweetness to it as well. This is made using barley from North Norfolk, which is the same grain that we use for a lot of our beers, and also this vodka is the base of our Copper House gin. If you don't have East Coast vodka you could also use Longshore vodka. So I'm going to use 2 25ml measures, so 50 mils in total. So there's one, just pouring that over the ice. And there's a second. Put that away. Okay. So now I'm going to also carefully add in my pea mixture. It can be a bit messy, just make sure I scrape all of that out. Like that. And then I'm also just going to put in just 2 leaves of fresh mint, and I'm just going to rip them in half and chuck them in. Now I love mint, but it can really quickly overpower the flavour of the pea, so I would recommend going easy on that. And then it's time just to give it a good shake. So you want to give this a really good shake until you can feel that the ice has really made that cocktail shaker go cold, and then obviously you know that your drink inside should be really nice and chilled, and also the ice will just help mix all those ingredients all together. Excuse my shaking, poor skills, but it works nonetheless. There we go, so that's now feeling really nice and cold. So I'm going to get my coupe. There we go, just move some of these bits out of the way. Now I've found that sometimes the pea mix is a bit too thick to get through my cocktail strainer. The holes get blocked a bit quickly. So actually I'm going to just take off the full lid on that, and then I'm actually just going to strain it through a mini sieve. So it just takes a bit of a time to go through. Just give it a little bit of a jiggle out. like that, being careful not to get the ice cubes into the glass. There we are. As you can see, it's got this really lovely fresh colour. It's coming through. Patience is a virtue. There you go. You want to be careful not to push it through too hard, because you'll find you'll get a bit of the pea sediment through, which just tastes fine. It can just leave a little bit of cloudiness in the glass. There we go. Okay, there we are. Now you can drink this just neat as it is, and it's lovely, but actually I quite like to just give it a tiny top with soda. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit in there, like that. And then just for a garnish, I'm just going to gently float a tiny sprig of fresh garden mint in there. And there you have it. That is a mashy pea with vodka cocktail. Enjoy!